He was fired yesterday over a contract.
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paulwell in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning, Jim. Well, we have a day and a half coming up today, supposedly. Davey, are we able to get Ray Stagik? Could you message him? Is that possible? I'd love to get a conversation with him about what is supposedly going to happen today. We're starting out at 46 degrees. It's going to warm up into the 60s, low 60s. And then we'll take a nosedive tonight and then turn to snow before midnight, and then a lot of wind, maybe a tornado they're talking about, isolated tornado. This is just pretty crazy. But we'll get some warm weather to start off. Here we go. Boy, it was a close game that Dominican Republic and the USA had last night with the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, 2-1 the final. The United States is able to move on. I was just checking for the latest weather advisory. Looks like there might just be a wind advisory, but
it's I don't think we right now have much of anything to the north. I think in Oswego, up that area, they have a wind advisory. There was a flood watch for today, but I don't even think that is in play right now. And then tomorrow, we look at a high of 24 degrees. And then it warms back up into the 30s, where we kind of stay 30s, sometimes 40s over the course of the next couple of weeks. So
yeah,
it's March. St. Patrick's Day parade over the weekend. Kind of a thin crowd. That wind, it was cold.
Well, it's biting. That wind
it was biting.
Nobody wants to stand there. It's rough if you're in the parade, but just standing there, not moving at all is difficult.
Davey
Smitty was there, yeah.
Davey, you were there, and still people brave the cold, right?
It's a tradition.
Top seed. Who got the 4 top seeds, Davey?
Duke, Arizona, Florida, and Michigan. Duke's the one consensus number 1 seed overall.
Okay, and where did Syracuse get seeded?
130th out of
130th. Okay,
out of 1,000.
Out of 1,000, maybe 1,000 out of 130.
So guess who Sienna's got to face? Yep.
Duke.
Yep.
Oh wow. Well, that's kind of cool.
Is that their first round game?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, listen. Let's talk about the men's NCAA tournament in ice hockey for Division III. Of course, the Frozen Four will be coming here, not this weekend, but the following weekend. The quarterfinals are this weekend, and they'll be breaking it down to 4 teams. Utica and Hamilton both have tough games this weekend, and both will be challenged by. I think Hamilton might be in a better position in their semifinal round if they can make it through this weekend. If Utica gets through this weekend and Hobart continues its run, they're 28-0 right now. If they can continue their run, but remember, they haven't played in 2 weeks, maybe even only once in 3 weeks. Anybody can lose at any time. So, but if Hobart wins this weekend, which they are expected to, Utica will play Hobart in the semifinal round if Utica wins this weekend. So tickets for season ticket holders go on sale today at 5 p.m., and then I believe everything else to everybody else goes on sale tomorrow for that game. Hamilton tickets will go on sale, I believe, on Tuesday, but it's a little more difficult because students kind of end up with most of the tickets there. But they had a big game as well, right? I mean, it was kind of close.
Yeah,
like
I saw
Utica
it 2-2.
was.
I saw it was a 2-2 game. It says the final here was 6-2. So,
they pulled away, and Utica was 0-0 until it wasn't, until the floodgates kind of opened. They scored, and again, they did a tremendous job of keeping the shots on goal down. But that was a close game with what's the name of the school? Williams College. I was calling it university, and it turns out they're Williams College. Even though on the broadcast, the NCAA broadcast, it was listing them as Williams University. I don't know why that is.
So, again, final 3-0. Go Pioneers. They played really well.
They scored 3 goals fast, and then nothing in the third period.
Yeah, once the floodgates broke, they boom, boom, boom. No, because it's a college game, no alcohol sales. Is that right?
So the way they do it is they open up the Zetlin and they open up the Horton room where they sell alcohol. However, you cannot leave the room with a drink.
Gotcha.
So otherwise, it's all, and that'll be that way straight through into the Frozen Four.
So, well, my 10-year-old was, he wasn't as animated as he normally was because I couldn't give him any beer. No, just kidding.
That would have helped.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But so I thought the crowd was a little flatter. And
I
thought it was maybe because of that. I don't know.
Because of the lack of alcohol. Well, that's possible. Although the Horton
you're less
room
likely
was,
to do that, I guess.
The Horton room was packed. I'll tell you that. But it was
still a good crowd.
It was still a good crowd. I thought it was a little lighter than I would have expected it to be. But the other part of this is if you're Utica, you just won in the first round. Somebody had said, I'm surprised they weren't more excited with their win. Well, I'm sure there's. I mean, you're not going to get as excited right now. You're not even in the Frozen Four as of yet.
Right.
So not time for excitement. You got a lot of work to do before you get there.
They were the runner-up last year. I mean, literally in the championship game, the second-place team.
And the competition is really strong to get into the Frozen Four. And the runner-up, they were runner-up to Hobart, who they will most likely play if they get into the Frozen Four. So, and Hamilton is ranked actually higher than Utica. So I think what the NCAA would love is to see Utica and Hamilton and Hobart get into the tournament.
And you mentioned Hamilton. They will take on Norwich, which is now ranked number 12 in the country. So
another big game. So we'll talk more about that.
Utica's up to number 5. Hamilton is 6. And Hobart is, Norwich is 12.
We'll speak with Frankfurt Mayor and singer and guitarist with Showtime, Justin Smithson, how small towns are handling the economy, where all of a sudden, we think about how you're dealing with this in your own budget. But think about it as a municipality having to go out and plow roads, drive around town. All of a sudden, you're paying a lot more for everything, including gasoline. And diesel fuel has gone up even more. Davey, this screen is not working here. So is she? That is Tanya. We'll also speak with Jonathan Savage and get the latest on the Iran war. And Brent Axe from Syracuse.com will talk about who does he think will be the next coach for the Syracuse Orange men's basketball team. On the line right now is Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. Tanya, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So last night was the Oscars, and I thought it was a pretty entertaining Oscars. Many of the movies that were up for awards, I had seen, and we even watched the movie that won. There was a tie in Best Short Film, The Singers. If you get a chance, look for that. It's about 13 minutes long, and it's really, really good. Your take on the Oscars last night, Tanya?
Well, I mean, it was a big night for a couple of big movies that we knew were either going to be very big night or people were going to be waking up this morning going, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
You had One Battle After Another and Sinners, which took home a lot of the major hardware there. One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, Best Picture at the Academy Awards last night. You also had Paul Thomas Anderson and Ryan Coogler both winning their first Oscars, which was a big deal. Ryan Coogler, of course, directed Sinners. That movie has, got a lot of attention last night. Its cinematographer made Oscar history.
Right, as a female, right?
Autumn Durald Archipel, becoming the first female director of photography to win that award in its 98-year history of the Oscars. So that was a big deal. Jessie Buckley won Best Actress for Hamnet. Like I said, Michael B. Jordan, Best Actor for Sinners at the Academy Awards. Paul Thomas Anderson, like I said, his One Battle After Another. Best Picture, he won for Best Director. So it was a big night for a lot of different folks, a lot of different things as far as the In Memoriam. I don't know if you've seen clips of the In Memoriam.
I did. There were a lot of blockbuster people who we lost in the last year.
There were big tributes to Robert Redford. Barbara Streisand actually sang on stage, which we don't really ever hear anymore. She sang a little bit of The Way We Were. There was also a big tribute from Rachel McAdams for Diane Keaton. And Rob Reiner, of course, and Michelle Singer Reiner from Billy Crystal, and there's kind of wrapped it up. And they had all of the, well, not all, but a lot of the stars from his movies that were so big line the stage. Basically, there was a whole big, there was a huge line of them all, holding hands, basically walking forward at the end, and you just kind of look at all the talent that in the movies that he's responsible for, bringing us that are just part of our lexicon now.
A very huge. And when you see the movies that Rob Reiner had done, it's just shocking the variety of different types of movies that were just enormous. So in terms of politics, your thoughts? I thought it was much lighter than I would have expected with the fact that we're in the midst of war. There were some mentions, but I expected more and didn't get it.
Yeah, there weren't really. I mean, there was not like an overt sort of, nobody screamed or anything. I mean, nobody normally screams to be clear, but there wasn't a whole lot of that. There were some, kind of aside mentions from time to time, but nothing that was, overtly political or anything. This was a big year for different things. Obviously, the Best Casting Award, this is the first year for casting for an Oscar category, so that was also a big, kind of a first.
One, I mentioned the short film. If you would, it's actually on Netflix, and it's called, you got to search for The Singers with an S at the end, not The Singer, because something else comes up when you do that, so I found. But The Singers, I don't know if you've seen that yet, Tanya, but that was really, really good. 13 minutes long.
I haven't seen that, but I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, really
Thank
good.
You.
Yeah, check that out. All right, Tanya, have a wonderful day, and I don't know what your weather's going to be like, but craziness up here for the next 24 hours is going to be crazy. So.
Yeah, these storms are nothing to laugh at, man. They're serious.
Yeah. Okay, Tanya, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Thank
Tanya
you.
J. Powers from Fox News Radio. Manaski with an update here on this Monday morning at WIBX.
Bill, we have mostly cloudy skies and 48 degrees at 6:37. Today marks 17 days since the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran started. Israel has carried out a new wave of attacks on Tehran, while Gulf countries remain on high alert. Flights were suspended at Dubai International Airport after a drone attack nearby. Limited flights have since been allowed to resume. President Trump says Cuba wants to negotiate with the U.S., Trump telling reporters while traveling to Washington on Air Force One that he thinks We will, quote, pretty soon make a deal or do whatever we have to do, end quote. He went on to say that talks are ongoing, but that we're going to do Iran before Cuba. Hollywood's biggest night is in the books. One battle after another was the evening's top winner, picking up 6 trophies during the 98th Academy Awards. The film scored awards in the Best Picture and Best Director categories. Michael B. Jordan took home his first Oscar for actor in a leading role for his role in Sinners, while Jessie Buckley won her first Oscar for actress in a leading role for Hamnet. 10 airline CEOs are urging Congress to pay Transportation Security Administration workers during the ongoing partial government shutdown. They stressed in a letter on Sunday that it's a necessity for security officers and air traffic controllers to be paid, especially as the summer travel season approaches. TSA workers missed their first full paycheck last week as the Department of Homeland Security largely remains without funding. The eastern half of the U.S. is in the path of a severe weather system today. That includes the potential for damaging high winds, hail, and the threat of tornadoes. Officials are warning that hazardous conditions like excessive debris, downed power lines, and travel disruptions are possible. And the United States still alive at the World Baseball Classic. Team USA beat the Dominican Republic 2-1 in the semifinals to advance. The U.S. will now face either Venezuela or Italy. Those two teams play today. The championship game will be on Tuesday, again with Team USA or Venezuela and Italy. Bill, right now, cloudy skies, 48 degrees at 6:39.
All right, it's a tough one. Got severe weather, got high wind warnings for the North Country, winter weather advisory for Oswego County. That's going to be for mainly tonight through tomorrow for more lake effect snow. Mild out ahead of the front today with gusty winds, 65. A few showers, thunderstorms, especially later today, could be severe. Wind, hail, maybe an isolated tornado. Gusty winds to 30-plus miles per hour. Showers over to snow showers and sleet. Tonight, overnight, we become all snow. Could be a rumble of thunder. Much colder, 20 degrees. Could see a couple of inches of snow as snow showers continue tomorrow. Highs will be in the mid-20s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy and 48 at 6:40.
I have to go to a comment from Friday from Lance Inley. The higher the prices, we must have been talking about gas prices.
Yeah, with Pacenti.
The higher the prices, the more the county makes. Tell the truth, please. And also the more the country makes. The president made a comment about that at the end of the weekend or going into the weekend, basically saying, you know, the reality is we make more money when the price of oil goes high. The problem is that is the oil. That's the oil companies, the U.S. oil companies, the U.S. oil refineries. They're making more money. The people like us, everyday people, you're paying more. And I didn't get to that question with Pacenti, but at the end of the day, I understand there's more money being made on taxes, but when you're paying more, every plow, every worker's vehicle, you're paying a lot more, and diesel is up quite a lot. So I'm not sure it's a huge boon for the county when the prices go up, when gas prices go up.
I'm not sure.
But you would agree it'll also cost them more for gas to fill the plows, right?
Right.
So I don't know if it's
the problem
you get a
is,
little
though,
more
it's
taxes.
our money either way. You know what I mean?
Exactly
it's not like
right.
the county's paying for it.
That's
We're
exactly
paying for
right.
it.
Either way, right. So when you say the county's making more, if this was a huge positive for the county, it probably would benefit all of us as well down the road. Good point. Quick break. Come back, and it's Monday morning at WIBX.
Hey, man, thanks for coming so fast. I couldn't get anyone else to pick up.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I'm not complaining, though. Business is way up lately.
Wow, good for you. I've been trying to grow my accounting practice, but it's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I was in the same boat last year. What really helped me was checking out this site, mylocalcustomers.com.
Never heard of it.
Well, most people haven't. It gives you a look at how many people in town are searching for what you do, and it also provides a plan to help them actually find you.
Like online?
Exactly. It's eye-opening, and it only takes a couple minutes to get started.
Huh, well, you fixed my sink. Maybe you just fixed my business too.
Want to know how many people in your area are searching for your type of business? Start with a local customer analysis at mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com today.
That's mylocalcustomers.com. Mylocalcustomers.com.
Ah, the most beautiful time of year is upon us. Tax season. And Tax Slayer is here to help you file. We guarantee 100% accuracy and your maximum refund. Those are some good numbers. And you can trust me, because I'm a talking calculator. Did I mention Tax Slayer even has support from real US-based humans? If you have any questions along the way, beat the rush and start for free today. Tax Slayer. File fearlessly.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Comments this morning. Mike says, it's nice that the president said he'll declare an end of the war in a week or so. One thing he might have to learn is both sides have to agree that the war is over. You still got to figure out a way to stop Iran from targeting ships and targeting neighboring countries. It will be interesting to see how this thing goes. You keep saying, 47 years of threats and death to America from Iran. But also, it's 47 years of strategists, intelligence people in the military saying, just maintain them. If it looks like they're getting closer, you bomb the crap out of their missile sites or where you think they're storing their uranium, and you keep them at bay versus going into a full war, because if you do, it'll end up like this, like what we're dealing with right now, which is kind of upended the entire world economy. So we'll see where all of this goes this week, and we'll get an update on that with Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio, the latest on what is happening over there. Davey, on Saturday, so I had an extra pair of tickets, and we found some friends to use them. Anyway, I had an extra pair of tickets, and I'm like, Davey, you want to go to the? And I sent it to Jeff too. You want to go to the game? And Davey, your response was no way.
I didn't say no way.
Would you like me to read it to you?
I think it was no way.
I think I
Jose.
have it right here.
You have it?
Read
it for me. Read it for me, Davey.
Because
it says no way, and I'm like, why so?
Oh
passionate?
yeah, I said you wrote, "Are you going to the game today?" I said no. I said no. I really wanted to say no. Why? So I put no way.
That's why I just did not understand. Like, why so passionately? Not only no, I'm not going, but no way. I am not going.
No chance.
That's it.
That's getting me out there.
So I'm like, what is it? So I said, what, are you tired?
And
Davey says, not really. I'm like, well, then why aren't you going? And his response was, what's up? It's like, Okay.
Okay, so
this was an I should have just called you because that was the most awkward, weird text message string that I.
Here's what happened.
Oh, there is a story.
No.
No.
I was just a little frustrated after the St. Patrick's Day parade of what everything went on, and it was just. Well,
it
too
was.
Oh, we had a good time, and we just had to get there early. It was cold and
It's long.
We were.
Yeah. But you're in the van. You can be in the van though.
Yeah, but all the girls here in the sales department were throwing out candy, so I had to stop and let them open the back latch and get the candy, and then people were all, come on, you got to go, you got to move, you got to move.
Yeah. Well, you being the driver wouldn't have been able to have any of those Jell-O shots they were serving up.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they had the sales staff out there?
It was a party.
Yeah.
Party.
Did I miss an email? Look, I'm fine with...
Yeah,
I'm fine.
But
Let's
it was,
move on.
I got to tell you, there were some people that did not dress for it, and they were very cold. I think I saw Tony Pacini at the Pioneers game, and he said, listen, I got to tell you, I bundled up, double layers, all that, and I was warm as can be, no issues. But if you didn't bundle up, it was cold, and that wind was biting.
Yeah.
It really was.
So that's why I didn't respond.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
sorry, I was kind of not out. I wasn't out of
it was a typo, Davey. It was a typo. Yes. There was no passionate reason why you didn't want to go. It was a typo. No, why? I would have been like, I might have some tickets for you. And but instead I got no way. So it shows you how text messages can
be misleading.
No way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why?
No, why? Right.
One more note on the hockey game. As we said, the Pioneers beat Williams again by a final of 3-0. But I just relooked at this bracket here. There's 8 teams remaining in the D3 Men's Ice Hockey Championship, and it's funny how this worked out. Hobart is 1, St. Norbert is 2. So you have the top 2 ranked teams in the country playing in the round of 8.
And then they just throw everybody in there at random, I think.
Well,
I
no,
don't think
then
it's a full seeding.
3 and 4, this is the national ranking. 3 and 4 are Endicott Aurora. Utica's 5. They play the 7 seed Wisconsin Stout. Is that what the quiz is? And then Hamilton is the 6, and they play Norwich, which is the 12 seed, the highest remaining seed, or would you say the lowest remaining seed?
Yeah.
No, they're actually the highest. But, you know, there's 4 teams ranked ahead of Utica, and they're all playing each other this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's a
couple of them will get knocked out.
That is true, and hope that Utica can pull off a win. And Hamilton, wouldn't it be great to have both of them in the tournament? I don't know if you saw the story. A Tennessee woman was checking her doorbell camera and noticed that her DoorDash driver was, and Jeff, this will never be you, was 78 years old and could barely make it up the stairs.
Oh, boy.
Did you see this on the news? Everybody was doing a story on it. Anyway, he was struggling to climb up her stairs to deliver an order. She then found him in real life and learned the reason he was still working was to help cover. You saw this, Davey, right? Hold on.
That's the elderly man that his wife lost her job recently, and he's doing.
His wife's. She lost her job, didn't have the health insurance, and he was struggling to cover her kidney disease medication. And so she took it upon herself.
She did a GoFundMe
to launch a GoFundMe. And you know where they are right now?
This is going to be a heartwarming story. Over 500,000.
Well, they're at 900. They're almost to
$1 million.
They're almost to $1 million. They're at $900,000 right now. Here is, I believe, I might even have some audio. Here's audio of this really nice, positive story. Here we go.
Just losing it, we had to supplement it, so I started running for DoorDash.
This is when he's learning what kind of money's been raised.
And the people are nice. DoorDash was good to me.
Sometimes you just look at all the things that you need to pay or need to do, and you know that has to come, because if it don't, you're going to end up in the hospital or somewhere with something even more expensive than that.
Yeah, $900,000 is where they are right now.
All right, so with all due respect to this gentleman, 78 years old, right?
Yeah.
And that's an awesome thing. He went back to work. He's doing this little side hustle, I guess it would be called today, to help pay for his wife's medical. But if everyone's like, hey, This guy's 78. Why is he still working? Why is his wife still working?
Yeah,
just
I
to
know.
get health insurance.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
not paying for anything
Both of
anyway.
them. Well, I mean, I guess the money will go to both of them, but ultimately, he was the one that was caught on camera.
Gotcha.
If she was walking in struggling to bring the boxes up the stairs, I imagine they'd be raising money for her. Or even if it was somebody like Stefan Rybitsky, struggling to get up those stairs, somebody would do a GoFundMe. Don't you think, Stefan? Maybe that's an idea. You got to start delivering boxes to people and struggle walking up the stairs. Hello, Stefan.
Well, fortunately, I have an elevator in my building,
That's
so
perfect.
I don't struggle to take stairs.
That is perfect. What's going on this morning, Stefan? Good morning.
Well, good morning. I have my Final Four picks for the basketball Division One Final Four here, and
gonna write
going
these
to
down. Can I-
going to the.
Well,
What's that?
let me just tell you before you get rolling here. Mike this morning talking about Kathy. Michigan State Kathy can go to Buffalo to see her team play, and maybe Stefan, you could hitch a ride or something. Go out to Buffalo and watch these games. I don't want to put ideas
you just
in your
did.
head.
You just did.
I kind of did. Sorry. Okay, go ahead, Stefan.
Well, one of the Final Fours, I have St. John's making it against Houston, and Gonzaga making it against Michigan. And my final is Houston and Michigan, and I have Houston winning it all.
Okay. All right.
Are you on one of those ESPN win $1 million perfect bracket type things?
Yeah, I'm going to enter right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I wish
Yeah.
you the best of luck. buddy.
Yeah, maybe you can win, the big money. I don't know that anybody's ever gotten the perfect bracket, have they?
I don't
Or
think
was
every
there-
team. No, I don't think so.
I think it's just so astronomically difficult to do. And then, as Davey said earlier this morning, it's March Madness. That's why they call it March Madness, because it's crazy with the upsets. And it does happen. All right, Stefan, good luck with your big bracket. All right, man?
Well, thank you, and go Utica University men's Pioneers hockey.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man. Have a good day.
You're welcome.
All
Bye.
right.
Okay, according to this quick Google AI search, the odds are astronomically low. 1 in 9.2 quintillion. of
Yeah, I
getting
think you have a better
perfect
chance.
bracket.
You have a better chance of winning the lottery.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a knowledgeable fan who knows the ins and outs, trends, teams that are on the up and up, who matches up better, they say your odds improve to 1 in 120 billion.
Wow.
And the closest known attempt in a perfect bracket predicted the first 49 games correctly, and it lasted into the Sweet 16 round.
That's pretty wild, right?
That is pretty wild.
But it is so difficult to predict NCAA men's and women's basketball, which is a pretty exciting tournament as well. There's an interesting story out there this morning we're going to be digging into, and that is the recent promotion of the position deputy chief in Utica. There was a letter that went out that has been, I believe, leaked out. And that not all members of the police department are happy with the decision. I guess I would take that from that letter.
Yes.
Okay. So this morning we will have Josh Harrington, who's the UPD union chief, who will be on to talk about that. But this has been this has got everybody stirred up just a little bit.
Yes, we'll talk to Mr. Harrington coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. I actually had the chance to talk to several officers in the department.
So Jim Holt is the person who has been
promoted to deputy chief. This is my understanding is this is provisional for now because there was a test that was given, a civil service exam for deputy chief and chief, and I think there were 7 people in the department who took it. So essentially, this is provisional. I guess if you're talking about a football coach, you'd say interim. He's got to pass the test and I think be in the top 3 in order for it to be permanent. But yeah, there was a letter that came out after that promotion.
And the letter, who is from the union chief, Josh Harrington, I would call scathing.
Yeah, he makes reference to allegation. Well, did he just bring it to you? Did Smitty bring that to you?
Yeah. I would rather. This is from him telling people not to panic. There is an interim position. Although this letter seems to be a little different than the one that we had sent to us. So it will be interesting. Apparently, there are members of the UPD who are not happy with this. Where does all of that go? A day in the life of office politics. We'll get into that coming up in the 8 o'clock hour this morning. Quick break. We have news coming up next on WIBX.
Contractors and landscapers, be able to take on more jobs and get your current projects done with Warner Sales and Service. Whether it's the tough lifting and digging or the more precise work with attachments, Warner Sales and Service has the Bobcat rental to make sure your projects get done. Tough work demands tough equipment, so stop in today at Warner Sales and Service, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona, and at WarnerSS.com.
Where quality still counts at Warner's.
I'm Bill Hemmer, and these are the most impactful moments in American history. 1798. The ink was still drying on the Constitution. America was still in its infancy. And the subject of freedom was already at the center of debate. It was a period of tension. Abroad, Britain and France were constantly in conflict. America was caught in the middle, and the newly formed political parties were polarized by foreign alliances. President John Adams and his fellow Federalists in Congress believed that the new nation must be built on centrality and loyalty and aimed to curb political dissent through the Alien and Sedition Acts. Journalists were prosecuted and critics were silenced. Though for the public, the legislation was seen as an assault on the First Amendment and remained unpopular. 3 years later, the legislation was not renewed, proving that freedom always prevails over fear. For more, go to FoxNewsPodcast.com. I'm Bill Hemmer, Fox News.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
President Trump wants our allies to help keep oil flowing and shipping. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, wanting a coalition to protect ships in the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran's been blocking, telling reporters last night while flying back to Washington.
It'd be interesting to see what country wouldn't help us with a very small endeavor, which is just keeping the strait open.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
The Strait of Hormuz has been under threat by the Iranian regime since this war began. And so President Trump is calling on international countries that use this critical waterway to participate in securing it. We've not yet seen many countries say they're willing to do so, and actually some have rejected this request by President Trump. But we can expect the White House today to encourage countries to participate in this coalition, and also some of those Gulf countries, Bahrain, the UAE, and Qatar, that are taking incoming fire, likely considering this offer from President Trump.
Now, oil prices are down a little this morning. Gas up another 2 cents. The price at the pump has surged 73 cents since the conflict started, and it continues the 17th day with the U.S. and Israel hitting Iran with more airstrikes, Iran countering with drone attacks on other Gulf countries. Parts of the Midwest are snowed under, with blizzard warnings from Iowa to Illinois up through Wisconsin and Michigan, where Fox Weather's Jane Menard is in Traverse City.
We had horrible conditions yesterday across the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, with record snow in Green Bay, across the UP of Michigan. Expecting these blizzard conditions to continue through the rest of the day today. Here in the upper lower, we're expecting power outages to remain a big concern.
There are more than 100,000 homes and businesses in Michigan that have lost power. At the Oscars, the biggest winner was also Best Picture.
The Oscar goes to One Battle After Another.
That movie won 6 Academy Awards on ABC, including Best Director. Sean Penn got Best Supporting Actor. Sinners won 4 Oscars, with Michael B. Jordan Best Actor, Jessie Buckley Best Actress for Hamnet, Amy Madigan Best Supporting Actress for Weapons. America's listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Well, the bad weather in the Midwest and other areas has grounded more flights today. There are more than 1,800 cancellations and over 1,300 delays on top of nearly 13,000 flights canceled or delayed yesterday. And there's another problem that's been going on for weeks. Long security lines at some airports.
Airline leaders blasted lawmakers Sunday for the latest partial government shutdown. They're angry that TSA agents are being left unpaid as air travel demand surges. In an open letter, airline CEOs said air travel has once again become the political football in a shutdown fight. They're urging Congress to immediately fully fund the Department of Homeland Security, which covers the cost of the TSA. The shutdown, which began February 14th, is now stretched on for a month. Some TSA agents have quit their jobs or called out sick because of a lack of pay, and that means long security lines at America's airports. Jill Nato, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising, so there may be a rebound from last week's selling that dragged the Dow down 2%. The Nasdaq lost more than 1%. At the World Baseball Classic, a big win for Team USA.
Mason Miller's 8th pitch to Perdomo. It is on with the championship!
The final out at FS1 and a 2-1 American win over the Dominican Republic, advancing the U.S. to the World Baseball Classic final tomorrow against either Italy or Venezuela. They play in the semifinals tonight. In college basketball,
we've reached that special time of the year. NCAA brackets came out last night. The first 2 games in the men's tournament are tomorrow. First 2 games in the women's NCAA's Wednesday. Duke is the overall number 1 seed in the men's brackets. Other top seeds are Florida, Arizona, and Michigan.
That's Fox's Jared Max. The women's bracket, undefeated Connecticut is the top seed. The other regional number 1 seeds, South Carolina, Texas, UCLA. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 48 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. Rome police continue to investigate a fatal accident involving a sport utility vehicle, a motorcycle, and a utility pole. Officers were called to the 500 block of East Bloomfield Street on Thursday evening for a reported motor vehicle collision. Officers say that motorcycle operator, 45-year-old Christopher Hildenbrand of Rome, sustained serious injuries as a result of the collision. He was transported by Amcare ambulance to Rome Health, where he was later pronounced dead. The operator and passenger of the sport utility vehicle did not sustain injuries as a result of the collision. That crash is still being investigated. Anyone who may have witnessed the accident or has information that can assist investigators is asked to contact the Rome Police Department or Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers. With just over 2 weeks until the deadline, lawmakers will continue talks this week on the state budget in Albany. Both the Senate and Assembly have passed their one-house resolutions, which is a step toward negotiating with Governor Hochul on her $263 billion spending plan. Among the issues that need to be discussed are taxes, changing the state's auto insurance law, and energy rebates and mandates. The next fiscal year officially begins on April 1st. And as we talked about last hour, there is the potential for severe weather across the region today. The National Weather Service says we'll have gusty winds being the biggest issue this morning. Temperatures rising into the 50s and into the 60s by this afternoon. The greatest risk for storms is this afternoon and into early evening as a line of thunderstorms move west to east in the region. Temperatures today may drop into the teens and low 20s tonight, triggering flash freezing and ice The latest alerts are available at weather.gov. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Here is a look at your Weather Center forecast.
All right, it's a tough one. Got severe weather, got high wind warnings for the North Country, winter weather advisory for Oswego County. That's going to be for mainly tonight through tomorrow for more lake effect snow. Mild out ahead of the front today with gusty winds, 65. A few showers, thunderstorms, especially later today, could be severe. Wind, hail, maybe an isolated tornado. Gusty winds to 30-plus miles per hour. Showers over to snow showers and sleet tonight. Overnight, we become all snow. Could be a rumble of thunder. Much colder, 20 degrees. Could see a couple of inches of snow as snow showers continue tomorrow. Highs will be in the mid-20s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, so in the next 24 hours, you might get a tornado, a windstorm, snow, rain, ice. What did I forget? Thunder? The only thing you didn't mention was lightning. Anyway, we have cloudy skies right now and 49 degrees at 7:08. All right, in sports, we begin with Division III men's hockey. The Pioneers advance. They beat Williams by a final of 3-0. Up next, the Pioneers will play at home 7 o'clock this Saturday night against Wisconsin Stout. They are the 7 seed. Utica is ranked number 5 nationally now. Again, the puck set to drop at the Adirondack Bank Center 7 o'clock Saturday night. Hamilton wins as well. They were tied 2 apiece. They pulled away late against Newman for a 6-2 victory. Hamilton will now take on Norwich. That game coming up in Hamilton, 7 o'clock on Saturday night. The NCAA basketball tournament is here. The top seed is Duke. Arizona is number 1 in the West. Michigan, number 1 in the Midwest. And Florida is the final 1 seed. Miami, Ohio slips into the tournament despite only 1 loss, 31-1. They lost in the MAC quarterfinals. They'll face SMU on Wednesday in a first 4 matchup while Lehigh battles Prairie View. A pair of games kick off the first 4 on Tuesday with NC State against Texas and Howard against UMBC. At the WBC, Team USA advances as they beat Dominican Republic 2-1 in the semifinals. Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony each had solo home runs to power the USA. Paul Skeens picked up the win. Mason Miller, the save. Team USA's opponent will either be Venezuela or Italy. Those 2 teams face off tonight in the other semifinal. And the championship game is coming up on Tuesday. NBA action, Jalen Brunson scored 30 points. The Knicks came from behind to beat the Warriors 110-107 at MSG. Quinton Post chipped in 22 points for the Warriors as they fell to 32-35. What else do I need to mention here? Syracuse women's basketball. They are in the NCAA tournament, and they found out who their first-round opponent is going to be.
They will be playing the women Iowa State Cyclones, but Jeff.
And that's an 8-9 matchup, I believe.
Yes.
That's their first-round opponent. So
it's in Connecticut.
Certainly be rooting for the ladies to make a dent, do some damage in the women's tournament.
Let's see. It's Kevin asking the question, any update on Mrs. Buckley? And I believe that's Paul Buckley's wife, who was hit by a puck on Saturday night, right off the bat. But I think she's...
right when the game started.
Yeah.
The puck went up in there, and she got hit.
Yes, yeah. But I think she was okay. Paul looked like she was okay, so I'm like, I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but she's a good woman. Good person, good human being.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let me, this hour, we're going to speak with Ray Stagik from the Weather Channel. This is supposedly going to be a crazy day with a lot of wind. Be aware. I don't know if you got your email from National Grid, but they're giving you a bit of a warning that things could get a little bit on the tricky side today with the wind, and there could be some power outages. We'll speak with Ray on what is expected to happen here, down here anyway, coming up in a few minutes. Also, Hobica's free money question of the day, Davey, this morning is worth a whopping, what are you going with?
$150.
$150 we'll start off with, and we'll give you a chance there.
We could do $151.
You really want to get on this odd man out type 151 type
Yeah,
thing?
because it's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh, right.
So what's that? You
Right.
like Bacardi 151? I don't get it.
No.
Are you going
Why
to be
151?
51? He's going to be 51 tomorrow.
Oh, he's 51.
51. He's going to be 51.
Wow.
Yeah. all
I
right.
never would have guessed it. You look
So,
young, Smitty.
150.
For your birthday, it's 151.
Well, we can do 151.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, I thought that's what we were doing. All right, $151 from the Hobeika law firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika. We'll get to that one coming up in a few minutes. All good stuff right there. Davey with a giant celebration coming up tomorrow. You'll be here for that, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, maybe we'll have to make it kind of nice for you. Like, we'll bring a balloon. If only Andrew's mother was around. She decorated this place for Andrew's birthday. Man,
I remember.
Remember?
I do.
I mean, from outside in, all the way in, it was quite a decorative moment. 7:13. Coming up, we'll speak with Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio on the latest on the Iranian war from over there, coming up at WIBX.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Veterans, you and your family know all too well the many hardships that challenge your mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. The Good News Foundation invites you to a free fellowship group of veterans. This get-together is run by retired Army Chief Warrant Officer 4 Richard Smith, the author of Camouflage Christian. Check out Veterans for Worship the third Wednesday of the month from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Good News Foundation, sharing faith, offering hope, and serving others.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Shh, here it comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money, getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger-pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
And portions of the program brought to you by River Hills Properties. River Hills, RH Properties. It continues. They continue to invest in upstate New York. And maybe you're kind of wondering, I wonder what my house is worth right now. I think you might be very, very surprised. Call River Hills, and they'll give you, with no obligation whatsoever, they'll give you a current value, what you could ask for if you were selling your home. That's a big deal. The River Hills is all about services provided, the book, 40 to 100 pages, filled with everything there is to know about the house and the home, and they never use the lockbox. That no lockbox strategy is enormous. Your listing agent is there to protect your property and to answer any questions every time the house is shown. It's River Hills Properties. And if you want to get down that Snowbird Road, where it's beautifully warm in Florida, They have Sarasota, Naples, Marco Island. They have you covered down there on the southwest coast of Florida, southwest Florida, with a River Hills office and a whole fleet of agents doing it the River Hills way in Sarasota. Call today, 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. Jonathan Savage is with Fox News Radio, I believe in London here this morning, and is on the line to get the latest on what's happening in the Iran war. Jonathan, good morning. Thanks so much. Where are we to start the week?
Yeah, well, the war is certainly continuing with more U.S. and Israeli airstrikes on Iran and more drone and missile attacks by Iran on its neighbors. But the big issue today remains the Strait of Hormuz, that crucial maritime choke point through which 20% of the world's oil supply usually flows, but has effectively been closed off by Iran. President Trump is trying to get a naval coalition to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz, but allies are refusing to commit. Japan, Australia, Germany, the UK, all saying they will not be committing forces to this endeavour. President Trump has warned the future of NATO would be very bad if allies don't take part.
It is interesting because previous presidents, including George Bush, both Bushes, had the coalition in advance of any war activity, any military activity. This is not the way that this administration has done it, however.
No, he didn't go to the allies. He didn't inform the allies in advance what he was planning, much less try and get them to take part or support it. And there was not an awful lot of public support for U.S. action. There was a lot of public condemnation for the Iranian reaction, the firing of missiles and drones across the region, putting a great number of lives at risk. But only a couple of countries like Australia and Canada came out to say that they were offering their full-throated support. Here in London, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer seemed to cast doubt on what he saw as a lack of legality for the conflict and also a lack of a credible plan. He said, "We don't believe in regime change from the air." He's been talking today, saying that he will not let the UK get drawn into a wider war with Iran.
And then I wanted to ask if you saw any of this yesterday. There were emails and text messages and social media posts going out all over the place, coming out of Iran, claiming that Benjamin Netanyahu had been killed and that several of his military cabinet had been killed as well. That turns out to be not true, but it looks like it came from inside Iran.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of social media chatter, and there's an awful lot of attempts from people in the Iranian government to use social media to spread misinformation about that. I saw another senior figure from Iran on X trying to bring up Jeffrey Epstein, his name and the inquiry and all this kind of stuff to bring about conspiracy theories. And yeah, there's the war of misinformation is certainly in full flow online.
All right, we'll see what this week brings. Jonathan Savage, thank you so much. We appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
Jonathan Savage with Fox News Radio. They are playing the social media game just like you would expect come out of our country. Although sometimes I think the stuff that's coming out of the White House social media is a little distasteful considering what's going. They're using military movies. They're using Hollywood stuff, mixing it in with I don't know. I do not believe it's the style of the United States. It is our style now, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I thought the SNL skit Saturday with, why can't I think of his name? Department of War.
Hegseth.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny and kind of accurate.
It's the one that does the news there, who's married to what's her name?
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Anyway, he does a pretty wild Pete Hegseth, and that was something to watch over the weekend.
Colin Yost. And the other thing was they had a skit, and I didn't see any of this live. I wasn't watching it Saturday, with a guy who was impersonating Tucker Carlson.
Everybody was
I thought
going
his
wild
was really
over that.
good.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good.
It was a kind of a spot on. He had the mannerisms that should be exploited, and I thought it was
His
a really
laugh
good.
was, I thought, pretty accurate.
I thought it was a pretty good Tucker Carlson, and that's a new cast member.
I'd never seen it before.
He just landed himself a new gig. I have a feeling.
Jeremy Culhane?
Yeah.
Culhane, something like that?
No, that's Tucker Carlson.
Oh, yeah.
Mike and Skyler, big fan of the Oscars. Were you let down last night? What were your thoughts?
Yeah. And just so you know, it's my 36th time watching them.
Wow.
Great. Silence of the Lambs was the first one I watched.
That's wild.
Back in 91. One battle after another. I did predict that one. I guess Michael B. Jordan from Sinners.
You kind of thought that was going to do very well. What was what's the one with one accident at a time, or what's the name of that movie?
I think something one accident at a time.
That's really a good movie if you get a chance to check that out.
I'll have to watch it. I have not seen that.
It
was just an
on
accident.
The hand one.
It was just an accident?
No.
No, okay.
It has Sean Penn in it. It has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. It really cleaned house.
One battle after another.
One battle after another. Yeah.
And Sean Penn won. That was a surprise. Sean Penn
I thought
won
that was.
And he wasn't there. He wasn't even there.
He apparently doesn't do award ceremonies. They say.
Well, he did his previous. He was there for when he won before.
Listen,
I'm
not gonna argue with you because you know. So you're the. I look at you as the expert when it comes to this. So nonetheless,
the memoriam thing was nice.
I thought it was. Yep, and others that we lost a lot of people this year.
Diane Keaton was another big one. Barbara Streisand was there for Robert Redford. She was singing "The Way We Were."
Yeah,
that was something. But there was a tie. Did you know there was a tie last night with the live?
I did see
action?
that. That was
only the seventh time that there was ever a tie.
That was the short film. That was the short film tie. And I got to tell you, if you get a chance to watch The Singers in plural. The Singers. It's on Netflix. It's 13 minutes long, and it's really, really good.
I will do that.
Make it a point, because it is something you really should see. It's really, really an excellent piece. 13 minutes long.
And the funny thing is, I think I said this before, but so there was a tie, and there's only the seventh time ever, but really the biggest tie ever in the Oscar history was when Katharine Hepburn won. And the best lead actor in Barbara Streisand was a tie with Barbara Streisand. And she has a record with 4, but one of them was a tie. Yeah. It's like a major category.
I thought it was. I was flipping around a little bit, but watched much of it. Watched some of the World Baseball Classic as the U.S. beat Dominican Republic. Juan Soto had a blast that was stolen away from him. It was a really good game. Also on SNL, you mentioned there was another bit. It was a parody of The Pit, and it was done it's an RFK Jr. Bit, and it was done instead of they weren't at the hospital they were at was Ma Hospital, as in Make America Healthy Again, Ma Hospital, MAHA Hospital. And that was a very funny bit, especially if you watch The Pit. You would recognize it. So, all right, good stuff.
That's cool.
Good
and
stuff,
one
man.
last thing, I did watch all the Neighbors. What
were they doing?
The Neighbors you were talking about?
Yes.
I did watch all the episodes. That is wild. I did watch that, and the Madison, like I told you about that. That is a good show. Like it just started. There's 3 episodes that came out.
The Neighbors is just the most white trash of white trash you'll ever find, and they're all battling over who's mowing whose lawn and all the other stuff. It's not the greatest show you'll ever see, but it's entertaining. So, yeah. All right, good stuff, Mike. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
All right, have a great day. Mike from Skyler. We should call him my Oscar Mike now, because he is a He's an Apple fan, and he's a huge movies fan, and loves the Oscars. 36 years in a row he's watched the Oscars. I can't say that. Can you?
No.
Me either. No. All right, quick break. Coming up, we'll speak with Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel. Davies' free money question of the day this morning from the Hobica Law Firm celebrates his birthday, where he'll be 51 tomorrow. So today we're giving away $151 on the line for Hobica's free money question. We'll get to all of that coming up after Manaski's news. Stajic, Ray Stajic, coming up next at WIBX.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, do not overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Take advantage of our guaranteed lowest price program. Bring in any locally advertised price or quote on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Furthermore, if within 90 days of purchase you see that mattress advertised for less, bring it to our attention. We will refund the difference. Selection, no one in New York State has all these brands under one roof except Mattress Express. Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest Black, Serta, iComfort, Avocado, and more. On New Hartford and Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. In Oneida and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. And Rome on Black River Boulevard. Open 7 days a week. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Possibility starts with the right financial solutions. From AmeriQ Credit Union. Get started today at ameriq.org/possibility.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
And portions of the program brought to you by the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. You know, the Falcon Clinic has added Dr. Cheryl Mattern of Sequoia. If you're looking for a new family doctor, Dr. Mattern is available and could get you in pretty quickly. Just call the Falcon Clinic at 315-507-4751. Dr. Kosminski, this is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. But they are, of course, there for you if you need a family doctor as well. That's where Dr. Mattern comes into play, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. It is the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Call 315-507-4751. And if you're in need of a new family doctor, Dr. Cheryl Mattern has joined the Falcon Clinic, accepting patients right now. Let me go to the man, Ray Stajic, with the Weather Channel. Ray, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
This is a doozy today, right? This for I would assume for a meteorologist, this is an exciting day, I would assume.
Depends on how you paint it, right? How you spin it. Exciting in terms of, yes, a lot going on from a blizzard out in the Great Lakes states into the upper Midwest to now even into Chicago with some blizzard warnings in some of their suburbs, to severe weather in the south, including tornadoes, to even a chance here through not only the southern tier, but the Mohawk Valley and into the Adirondacks and points east of even some severe weather today, this afternoon, too. So, it's a lot, Bill. It's a lot.
So for us, we're going to be looking at some warmer temperatures today, but it'll be windy through the day today, right?
Yeah, windy. Winds could gust 30, 40 miles per hour. Did see a few advisories for wind. They hadn't extended them yet into Oneida County. I don't know. I guess I could ask why not yet, but adjacent counties to the west and north, you got wind advisories. Just north of Lewis County, it's actually a high wind warning. That high wind warning is in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. Also, they just went with winter weather advisories, too. And now earlier it was Oswego County, but they've included now Jefferson and Lewis counties because it's warm now. We're 20 to 30 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. There was snow late in the week and over the weekend. many places in the north up on Tug Hill had 6, 7, 8 inches, even 9 inches of snowfall. And now you get rain, you get another little melt, and then the lake effect comes back, and you could see another double-digit snow in the more favored snowbelt areas, Jefferson, Lewis, Oswego counties, and I think later tonight too. Even here, Oneida County and surrounding counties through the Mohawk Valley, east toward even Albany and the southern tier, now in the Finger Lakes. I think we get a burst of snow too, which could cause some travel trouble and some slick travel tomorrow morning. So a lot of kind of changes and a lot of significant changes from warm to cold late last week into the weekend, and now from cold to warm to severe, back to cold and back to accumulating snowfall. Kind of crazy.
Would you find that a threat of a tornado? I realize isolated, but there is a threat of a tornado, and I'm assuming that comes when temperatures are warm and then they drop and go cold. I don't know. I'll get that from you, but that kind of abnormal for this time of year.
Yeah, it is. March for this part of the country is a little unusual. I wouldn't say unprecedented, but yeah, it's a combination of that. Warm, humid air out ahead of a front. What you really need for tornadoes is wind shear, and whether that's speed shear, which means the winds increase in height as you go up in the atmosphere, or directional shear, which means the winds change direction as you go up at height. That's probably the biggest piece of trying to get some of these thunderstorms to rotate enough to become tornadic. And we think on the line there may be some isolated storms that could rotate. Now, the better chance is really south as you get across the border, Pennsylvania, into central PA around Altoona and down near the nation's capital. They're in an enhanced to even a moderate risk. So when the Storm Prediction Center puts out their risk assessment for severe weather, there's 5 levels. You go 1 is marginal, then you go slight, then you go 3 enhanced, 4 moderate, and then 5 is high risk. We're kind of down there at number 2, which is a slight risk for severe weather. So it's not great, but it's not zero. I think about mid-afternoon, between about 2 and 4 o'clock, and a little bit beyond that, the storms will start to fire, and that's the point where you should be ready for warnings and even ready to take action, even on a severe thunderstorm, Bill. You still could have damage, obviously, and you could have significant damage, all depending on, right, exactly where that storm hits. So I think it's mid-afternoon today. We'll have to be on our guard into early tonight for some of these severe storms to come in. I'd say, let's start hearing thunder probably after 3 o'clock, and then the stronger storms between about 3 and right now looks like maybe early this evening. So, that's kind of the time period.
All right. Boy, it's amazing how, at least down here, I know there's still a lot of snow in the North Country, but down here, how much snow we lost over the course of that warm spell we had last week. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. We appreciate the update, Ray. Thank you.
All right, Bill. Yep.
All right. Ray Stajic with the Weather Channel. I'm going to ask you an update on news. Then we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. Coming right up at WIBX.
Bill, more than 2 weeks into the war with Iran, and President Trump says the military is defeated. Their military, to be specific. He made the comments on board Air Force One while speaking with reporters Sunday. It comes as Iran has rejected the idea of ceasefire talks, with that country's foreign minister saying yesterday that Iranians are ready to defend themselves as long as it takes. Oil prices on the rise, right along with gas prices as we start off the week. U.S. crude oil reached $100 a barrel on Sunday, once again as the U.S.-Israeli war continues with Iran. Meanwhile, the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded gas now jumping to $3.71 a gallon, according to AAA. A week ago, it was $3.47. One battle after another is the big winner after last night's Oscars. The film earned 6 trophies during the 98th Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. Michael B. Jordan took home the first Oscar for actor in a leading role for his role in Sinners, while Jessie Buckley won her first Oscar for an actress in a leading role for Hamnet. At least 100 million people across the eastern half of the U.S. are in the path of a severe weather system today. We just discussed that with Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel. That includes the potential for damaging winds, hail, and the threat of tornadoes. Senate Republicans expected to bring the Save America Act to the floor for a vote this week, It would require people to provide proof of citizenship in person to register to vote and would implement a national requirement for photo ID. Democrats are united in opposition, arguing the ID requirements would disenfranchise millions of voters. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:37. We go into weather. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
All right, it's a tough one. Got severe weather, got high wind warnings for the North Country, winter weather advisory for Oswego County. That's going to be for mainly tonight through tomorrow for more lake effect snow. Mild out ahead of the front today with gusty winds, 65. A few showers, thunderstorms, especially later today, could be severe. Wind, hail, maybe an isolated tornado. Gusty winds to 30-plus miles per hour. Showers over to snow showers and sleet tonight. Overnight, we become all snow. Could be a rumble of thunder. Much colder, 20 degrees. Could see a couple of inches of snow as snow showers continue tomorrow. Highs will be in the mid-20s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
I've got 48 at 7:38.
48 degrees. It will be much colder than that this time tomorrow. Okay, Davey, let's do Habaika's free money question. It's 151 for your 51st birthday tomorrow. What caller you looking for here? Caller number
6.
6 right now. 315-736-0186. Your chance at $151 from the Habaika Law Firm. 6th caller right now with 315-736-0186 at WIBX.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Find the location nearest you and book your appointment at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Shh, here it comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money, getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
Our Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Representative John Mannion are standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. They know the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, it's a new year, new Mazda sales event, and it's going on right now at Steve Pawnee Mazda. Enjoy low APR financing on select new 2026 Mazda models. See the dealership for details. They've increased their inventory as they wind down their New Year, new Mazda sales event this month. So right now, great time to enjoy a new Mazda, 2026 Mazda with tremendous savings. As Rick says, come on in, let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steep Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. All right, it's time for Hobica's free money question of the day. Davey chose $151 as the number that could be given away. On the line right now is Mark in Rome. Hello, Mark. Good morning.
Hey, how are you? I'm actually, I'm from Westmoreland, but
oh, you are okay. Okay,
yeah, so, that's why I like last week's question, but I didn't make the call.
Westmo, yeah, you had that, and somebody said to me, I walked into a business the other day, and they said, you realize no one could ever get that question. I'm like, if you're from Westmoreland, you know that question. It was the James Dean was the first settler here.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, right? It's like the Eagles, Eagles song.
Yeah. So, all right, are you ready for this? You ready to pull this off? So this is Mark from Westmoreland.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know the deal. You're gonna have 7 seconds to answer the question, and here it is. You'll be up for $151 from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica. 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. Here is your question. You hang them from your rearview mirror. Those little what do they call
pine trees?
Those little pine tree air fresheners. They have been made since 1952. In what city? Ready, go.
Little Falls, New York.
Is it Little Falls, New York? No.
Is it like Buffalo, Albany, Canajoharie?
It's Watertown.
So
it's kind of a regional question. It's the Little Tree air freshener that just so happens to be green since 1952, made in Watertown. Those make me sick.
You don't like the smell?
It's how there's some of these artificial smells that'll kind of bother you a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably is because someone got sick in the car and there was one of those, and I now
associate that. Yeah, for sure. That can happen.
Mark, we're going to give you I'm going to give you a pair of passes to Glenwood Movieplex, Rome Cinema 8. I'll also ask you, are you able to go to Saturday night's Pioneers game, 7 p.m. at the Adirondack Bank Center?
No, I'm in Florida. I'm in Ormond Beach, so I'm not going to be able to make it.
You are just, this makes us feel so cold up here. Good for you. All right, stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Quick question. Where'd that question come from? Those trees. Why that? You just pick stuff out of the.
It is well, every day you just pull something out of thin air, right? So this one though, this one showed up on a post that on a news story that someone did on one of our websites called CNY News, and it was, here are 10 questions about upstate New York that'll really surprise you. Yeah. So we had a Westmoreland question the other day. We had a Watertown question today. So, all right.
Excellent.
Mark, you stand by. Enjoy that weather down there, and Davey's going to hook you up.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Bill.
All right, man.
You guys have a great day.
You do the same. Too. And thanks for tuning in from down there. Manaski has comments.
Yes. So this is from Lance, and this is on the gas that we talked about Friday and then earlier this morning. And as soon as this loads, I'd be happy to.
I don't know the
Lance's
exact answer. However, you're not making pure profit, and because you got to pay for. Just the plows alone that we had to deal with were used. Plows and sanders used more than a normal average winter around here this year, and now we're doing it with. And this next week and a half, it's going to be cold and snowy. Now you're doing it with higher gas prices.
He said, just watch the beginning of the show. You do realize the county, city governments don't pay huge taxes on fuel. The huge taxes on fuel most buy in bulk and have tanks on premises. So the huge jump in prices doesn't have the same impact as they do on the taxpayers. Second, did the mayor promote someone he can micromanage? I'm sure he was handpicked by Galimi, and it's proven that he loves to micromanage.
Okay. What are we talking about? I don't know what the topic was.
That was, well, we talked about the Utica police situation.
Okay. All right. I see. So I don't know what's going on. We're gonna speak to the head of the union for UPD, Josh Harrington, who put out a pretty scathing. You saw this thing first. Put out a pretty scathing email about the mayor's selection. I did not know the mayor gets to select who becomes the deputy chief, but that certainly makes sense. And the mayor has selected it's Jim Holt, right?
Yes.
Who will take over as deputy police chief in Utica. But apparently there are some people within the union who are not happy about it.
Yes, and we will talk with Josh Harrington coming up next hour. I mean, I have the email here. You want me to go through it?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the email. This was sent to all 160-plus members of the Utica Police Department, and this was on Thursday following the promotion of Jim Holt
all
to deputy
members
chief.
of the Utica Police Department and us.
Well,
somehow it got to us as well.
It was, yes.
Yes.
We were not on the original email list. So the John E. Creedon, PBA of the Utica Police Department. While the recent promotion of Captain James Holt to deputy chief, I ask that you do not panic and lateral out of our department. This is an interim position. And
This is the union speaking to members of the police department.
Captain Holt will need to pass the civil service exam to be made permanent. We discussed that a bit last hour. Mayor Galimi has been made aware of the captain's inappropriate, unprofessional, and outright childish behavior as a captain, and throughout his career, the department is made aware of the sexual comments that have been made to subordinates about male officers, female companions. I have advised the mayor of the constant complaints the union receives regarding the captain's daily behaviors. The mayor has chosen to ignore all has warnings and complaints. The promotion was based on a personal relationship between the captain and the mayor. The mayor is also aware of medical emergencies that Captain Holt was part of that put members in harm's way.
Wow.
I don't know what that... I don't understand that. The department is aware of complaints of Captain Holt threatening members, making statements of when he will come after members when he becomes the deputy chief. If any of those threats are followed through with, please file your complaint with City Hall. These warnings were not to dictate who may be made to this position, but to protect the members in the future. The wrong leaders to a department is detrimental to the entire department and the city of Utica. Please be patient. If you have any questions or complaints, as usual, you can contact any member of the union. Josh Harrington.
Wow, that's a that's a scathing email.
For sure.
We have you actually have talked to some police officers who dispute that description of Jim Holt.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I talked to a handful of them. All of the individuals that I spoke with said that was not an accurate depiction of Jim Holt, that they supported him. One person said, should he be the deputy chief? That I don't know, but there's certain merits you have to have, and then you have to test well on the civil service exam. But what this person said was, I don't know if he should be the deputy chief, but all the stuff in that email I wouldn't say is accurate, and I don't think that's true of the person that this individual said that they knew. And I got a lot of that, like a lot of good feedback on Jim Holt from the people that I spoke with. So this is a provisional promotion for now. Again, it depends on his score on the civil service exam. I'm also looking here for another one of the comments that I had. Let me see here.
Also, we'll speak with the union's Josh Harrington coming up first thing next hour to get his take on it. And then later in the week, we have reached out to Jim Holt to come on, and then later in the week, we'll speak with Mayor Mike Galimi on the issue.
This person said he's not perfect. None of us are. He's very hardworking and a straight shooter. The union president hates him and is behind all this, along with the other guy who was up for promotion. He's very deserving of the promotion, as was the other candidate. The other candidate made a deal with the union president to get his support, which appears to have backfired.
Okay. All right, we'll get into all of that coming up next hour. Stand by. Quick break. We'll come right back. It is 7:52 at WIBX.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Shh, here it comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money, getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, during Sarah's Flooring Outlets spring savings, spring into savings, they are reducing inventory and making room for all new stuff. You can get brand new flooring for up to 70% off during Sarah's inventory reduction sale, which is going on right now. They have the largest selection in all of the area, and they are here to assist with some of the best flooring you'll find, whether it's remnants, vinyl remnants, hardwood flooring, carpeting, flooring for whatever it is you need. They have the best selection. Sal and the entire crew over there do a tremendous job. We did hardwoods that changed the look of our entire home from Sarah's, and adding tile very soon to which we purchased from Sarah's. So check it all out. They have the largest inventory of anybody in the area, even the big box stores, and you get the best prices. The inventory, the largest inventory in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com. Do you know what knuckle hop is? Knuckle hop? So a 40-year-old Christopher Stipdunk broke the knuckle hop world record this year. According to this, the knuckle hop is when you basically do a push-up on your knuckles and toes and bounce your body down a hard basketball court.
Okay.
And
do the knuckle hop. The knuckle hop.
And apparently
is this like a 50s way to pick up women?
I guess. Here is Christopher on the feet, and his bandaged knuckles, when it was all said and done, he ends up breaking the world record for something I've never heard of before.
I broke my world record. I broke the Arctic Winter Game record. It's been like a journey of like ups and downs, successes, challenges, failures. All bandaged up, man. I got to get them healing already. My wife said it was the worst she's ever seen.
That was amazing. It was actually insane.
Okay, that's all we get, apparently. Stupid. Some of these records today, I think Guinness is losing its... I mean, whatever happened to the days when you'd have, like, the world's largest dish of pasta, which we had.
Yeah, that was...
Or the world's largest jelly donut, which is still the current record.
All right, I'm watching this. Yeah, he's basically in a push-up position, but he's on his knuckles and toes, and he's just bouncing up and down, almost like he's walking like an animal would hop or bounce.
Yeah, he broke his own record.
Looks like there's other guys in this competition, too.
Meanwhile, there's another Guinness record out there. A woman in Nigeria spent 70 days counting out loud to 1,070,000, and she broke a Guinness record that has been standing for 18 years. It took her 70 days to break the record.
All she had to do was count out loud?
She had to count out loud. Now, I don't know if she probably was able to have breaks and that sort of thing, in the to be able to sleep and go to the bathroom, or maybe she's counting while she's going to the bathroom. I don't know, but she did it in 70 days. The record has been held for 18 years, And this woman from Nigeria has actually broken it. Here's audio.
1,070,000. 1,070,000, guys. We'll finally come to the end of our counting marathon. And I want to say a very big thank you to all of you guys. Thank you for everything. I love you all.
She sounds like she's talking very slowly to me.
She obviously got sleep, right? Because you can't stay up for 70 days. Let's find out. Smitty, get Guinness on the
counting.
phone.
Yeah, you begin counting, Davey. We'll
1,
check with you at 9 o'clock.
2.
And a man in Florida called 911 earlier this month after his wife fell out of their golf cart and hit her head.
Ooh.
Turns out he was drunk, and they were coming back from partying at the club. He was arrested for driving under the influence. Apparently, you could be arrested for DWI even on a golf cart.
For sure. Even on a lawnmower, actually.
Here is interim officer of the Northport Police Department, Brittany Kammerer, talking about the incident that could have killed this woman. Here's the audio.
So nobody should get behind the wheel of any vehicle, whether it's an e-bike, an e-moto, a golf cart. If it has power to it, let's just not drink and drive behind the wheel.
Boats. That's a big one.
For sure.
Yeah. Any of this stuff. Snowmobiles. You can be found to be driving under the influence. And the Los Angeles Metro has revealed some of the most unusual items they have in their lost and found. Including in their lost and found, they have a surfboard. There is a prosthetic leg. There is a 55-inch TV. Here's a Metro representative talking about these items that have been lost.
This is the prosthetic leg that fortunately was left behind on the beeline. Maybe they get up too fast or they're afraid to miss their stop and they just get up without checking their seat. For example, we once had an engagement ring come in to our Lost and Found Center. Around Valentine's Day, the customer didn't come and reclaim it.
So when I was in working in Providence, they had, just outside Providence, they had a store that sold luggage from airlines.
Really?
Lost and not recovered luggage. And the beauty of this thing was you would buy it, you had to buy it, but you didn't know what was inside. Maybe what was inside was something really cool. Maybe there was nothing really cool inside. Maybe you're buying it just for the luggage alone, but you would get to keep whatever was inside.
What about a Hunter Biden laptop?
Maybe that's where it was, after all. That's where it was. We have news coming up top of the hour. Stand by. It's 8 o'clock.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Smoke hangs over Iran's capital a 17th day. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. As the U.S. and Israel continue to hit Iran there and beyond.
These strikes have not only targeted Tehran, but also much of western Iran, where the launching positions and production facilities are for Iran's ballistic missile stockpile. And as it continues, each and every day, the Iranians are starting to run out of the critical missiles and drones that they are using to target not only Gulf countries, but also U.S. ally Israel.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. President Trump wants help from our allies to set up a coalition force to get oil shipping again through the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran's been blocking. The president telling reporters while flying back to Washington.
Nice to have other countries police that with us, and we'll help, we'll work with them.
Oil prices are mixed this morning, not moving much. A nasty storm keeps hitting the upper Midwest with blizzard warnings. Iowa to Illinois through Wisconsin and Michigan. Another 2,000 flights canceled today, about 1,600 more delays. But that's not the only problem. There continue to be long security lines at some airports because TSA agents continue to have to work without pay, with Homeland Security funding still blocked. So some haven't shown up.
The CEOs of major airline companies are now criticizing members of Congress for, as they say, once again making air travel a political football in another government shutdown, calling for lawmakers to come together to find a solution.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. They handed out the Oscars last night on ABC with one battle after another leading the way.
The big winner with 6 wins, including Best Picture. Sinners follow with 4 wins, including Michael B. Jordan for Best Actor, thanking those that paved the way.
Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker,
Will Smith.
That clip courtesy of AMPUS 2026. Frankenstein took home 3 awards. K-pop Demon Hunters 2.
Fox's Michelle Polino. Sean Penn, Best Supporting Actor. Jessie Buckley, Best Actress for Hamnet. The Best Supporting Actress Oscar went to Amy Madigan for Weapons. America's listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
We mentioned oil prices earlier being mixed this morning. Gas is up 2 more cents. AAA's price for regular has surged 73 cents a gallon in this conflict. But Energy Secretary Chris Wright insists it's temporary.
Secretary Wright said the price of oil should be dropping in a matter of weeks. Secretary Wright said on ABC's This Week, President Trump chose the best time to strike.
To end Iran's ability to threaten energy markets. Yes, we go through this period of short-term disruption, but better to do it now than to have a nuclear-armed Iran.
Last week, Secretary Wright said 172 million barrels from U.S. petroleum reserves will be released to help offset high gas prices. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, a rebound is brewing from last week's selling. Dow futures on the rise this morning. At the World Baseball Classic, Team USA advances to the final.
Fly ball right center field. Rodriguez and Tatis going back. It is gone. Robert Anthony gives the U.S. the lead.
On Fox Sports 1, Red Sox right fielder Roman Anthony hit a solo home run in the 4th inning last night in Miami to give the United States a 2-1 lead over the Dominican Republic in the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic. 2 batters prior, Gunnar Henderson of the Orioles had gotten Team USA on the board with a home run off Luis Severino. It was 2-1 Team USA after 4 innings. 2-1 Team USA after 9 innings. Team USA is in the championship of the World Baseball Classic. The final game is tomorrow night in Miami. Team USA awaits the winner of tonight's semifinals in Miami between Italy and Venezuela.
That's Fox's Jared Max. The college basketball tournaments are set. Duke is the top men's seed in the NCAA tournament. Undefeated Connecticut ranked first in the women's bracket. The other top regional seeds in the men's tournament, Arizona, Florida, Michigan. For the women, the other top seeds, South Carolina, Texas, and UCLA. The first games are tomorrow. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 48 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. People across central New York will want to keep an eye to the skies today because we could see some quickly changing and severe weather. The National Weather Service says gusty winds will be the biggest issue this morning. The greatest risk for storms this afternoon into early evening is a line of thunderstorms moving from west to east in the region, and temperatures may drop into the teens and low 20s tonight, triggering flash freezing and ice. The latest alerts available at weather.gov, and we will check in with Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel coming up in just a few minutes. Rome police continue to investigate a fatal crash that occurred on the 500 block of East Bloomfield Street involving a sport utility vehicle and a motorcycle. Police say the motorcycle operator, 45-year-old Christopher Hildenbrand of Rome, sustained serious injuries as a result of the collision. He was taken to Rome Hospital where he later died. The operator and passenger of that sport utility vehicle did not sustain injuries as a result of the collision. The collision is being investigated by Rome police. Authorities say anyone who may have witnessed the accident or has information can contact the Rome Police Department's tip line or can submit information through Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers. The Senate and Assembly in Albany continue to try to hash out a budget deal. Now, the state budget is due April 1st, and New York State is looking to pass an on-time budget again. Governor Kathy Hochul has set forth several initiatives in her spending plan, among them a step toward negotiating the $263 billion budget proposal. Taxes, changing the state's auto insurance law, and energy rebates and mandates are among the issues still being hashed out. Again, the next fiscal year begins on April 1st. Bill, in a popular Central New York sports bar closed yesterday. After 17 years, Recovery Sports Grill in Verona closed its doors for good. They left a sign on the door saying 17 years of laughter, shared meals, and familiar faces, 17 years of watching children grow up and return as adults. You can read the full message on our website at WIBX950.com. The Oneida Nation purchased the business along with the Dunkin' and the hotel next door. Those properties fall in Recovery's footsteps and close their doors as well? Officials say only time will tell, but Recovery is now closed. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
It's a tough one. Got severe weather, got high wind warnings for the North Country, winter weather advisory for Oswego County. That's going to be for mainly tonight through tomorrow for more lake effect snow. Mild out ahead of the front today with gusty winds, 65. A few showers, thunderstorms, especially later today. Could be severe. Wind, hail, maybe an isolated tornado. Gusty winds to 30-plus miles per hour. Showers over to snow showers and sleet tonight. Overnight, we become all snow. Could be a rumble of thunder. Much colder, 20 degrees. Could see a couple of inches of snow as snow showers continue tomorrow. Highs will be in the mid-20s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have cloudy skies, 48 degrees at 8:09. All right, in sports, the Utica Pioneers men's hockey team advances. They picked up a first-round win in the Division III men's ice hockey championship. 3-0 your final over Williams. Hamilton advances as well as they knocked off Newman by a final of 6-2. Both teams remain in the tournament. We're now at the round of 8. Utica will take on Wisconsin Stout. 7 o'clock start at the Adirondack Bank Center on Saturday night. Hamilton stays home as well. They will host Norwich, also a 7 p.m. start on Saturday night in Hamilton. March Madness on the hardwood is officially here. The NCAA tournament released its 68-team bracket yesterday. Duke is the top overall seed. Number 1 in the West is Arizona. Michigan gets the top spot in the Midwest, and Florida is the final 1 seed in the South. Miami of Ohio, 31-1 this season. They slipped into the tournament despite suffering their first loss of the year in the MAC quarterfinals. They'll face SMU on Wednesday in a first 4 matchup. A pair of games kick off the first 4 on Tuesday with NC State against Texas and Howard against UMBC. The United States staying alive at the World Baseball Classic. Team USA beat the Dominican Republic 2-1 in the semifinals. Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony each had solo home runs to power Team USA. Paul Skeens picked up the win. Mason Miller the save. Team USA's opponent will either be Venezuela or Italy, who will face off tonight for the other spot in the championship. Jalen Brunson scored 30 points last night, made all 10 of his free throws as the Knicks completed a come-from-behind victory, beating the Golden State Warriors 110-107 in the Big Apple. The Knicks have now won 3 straight. They are 44-25. Golden State is now they've lost 5 straight, currently 9th in the West at 32-35. Smitty, what spot did Syracuse get in the tournament? Oh, they didn't? Oh, he's not in there. I'm sorry. I wasn't rubbing his face in it.
Somebody at the door. I asked him that earlier this morning. And I believe he said they got spot number 1,000. That was their seed. Something like that. There's one other little item. I do remember somebody in the studio saying back when the U.S. in the Olympics, when the U.S. in the Olympics beat the men beat Canada, and then the women beat Canada for the gold. And then I think somebody in the studio said, I think the Paralympics, the U.S. beat the Canadians for the gold there. Turns out that had not happened as of yet, but turns out the U.S. beat Canada over the weekend.
Is that right?
6-2 in the Paralympics, in the Paralympic Games.
I was watching some of that because I was flipping back and forth between the IndyCar race because I had some interest in the IndyCar race.
Yeah.
That was awesome to see them skating on the ice just like that.
Yeah, 6-2 was the 6-2 was the final in the Paralympic Games. And then I was looking up a little something about Wisconsin Stout, and I'm wondering, how do you get a college name? And it turns out it's a university. How do you get a university name, Wisconsin Stout? Well, it's kind of easy. Actually, it's an old university. The school was founded back in 1891, and it was named in honor of its founder, who was a lumberjack, a lumber magnate. He made a lot of his money, his millions and millions, with lumber. Of course, his name, James Huff Stout.
Okay.
That's how you get to Wisconsin Stout. And they're playing, is that who Utica's playing? Yeah, Saturday night. 7 p.m.
o'clock, yeah.
At the Adirondack Bank Center. And then Norwich will be coming. That game gets played in Clinton again, right? I think Clinton's at home, being one of the top seeds in the tournament. Pretty good. Boy, the goal would be to have both Hamilton College and Utica University to be at the Adirondack Bank Center for the Frozen Four.
Yeah,
that would be
great.
just awesome. One of the four teams. All right, Davey, what do you want me to do here? Take this?
Yeah, it's Michigan State Kathy.
Kathy, I got to tell you, this is exciting. Your Michigan State team is playing in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's exciting, but I don't know which team is going to show up. They lost the tournament if they were in the boat. I think they couldn't find the water.
That happens. Yeah.
Depends on what team shows up. They could play real good and move on. But I think after this last loss, I think Coach Izzo was kind of heartbroken. Not so much, to win the tournament, but just how they played.
Yeah. Well,
So
I mean, what a great way to come back and build up his faith in this team by doing well in the tournament, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
We'll hope that they play real well and they don't go home in the first round.
Yeah, that would be
I
terrible.
was kind of disappointed that I was looking forward to, Colgate and Cornell. But
right.
that's it. And it would have been nice to have seen Syracuse in the
this
game,
is just a
so
disaster.
everybody could.
Listen, this new AD has got a lot of work to be done here, because he really has to secure not only the football program and the basketball program, but lacrosse as well. Women's sports doing very well. Men's sports struggling at Syracuse. This guy's got his work cut out for him. So.
And also, did you watch the new program, Marshall?
I did not see that one. No.
They ran the third episode last night. It was very good. You might be interested
I'll have to
in
check
checking
it out.
out.
All right. Are you going to travel to Buffalo to watch Michigan State?
I would probably like to.
Yeah.
But I think having the comfort of home
It's nice.
and everything and
Sit
seeing
right in
it
your-
up close,
in
I'd
your-
be better off to
your
stay here.
Easy chair. You get to have replay. You're watching right up close. I mean, how do you beat that?
So
right?
basically,
And-
she's saying if they get down, she can turn the channel and watch
Right,
something else.
Right, she can be like, "This is enough. I'm done
I
watching
think
this."
I wouldn't be too happy if they end up losing in the first round. I wouldn't be too happy driving
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, I don't
So
blame
I'm
you.
going to stay put.
All right, well, go Michigan State. We wish you the
Go
best.
Michigan State, green and white.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Best of luck there, Kathy.
Michigan State Kathys.
She is a huge fan. She is such a fan. Her real name is Michigan State Kathy. I don't know if you know that. That is her real name.
Scott gave her that name.
That is the name we call her, I guess. Not her real name. No. People of all ages get pain, right? You could be young, you could be old. Doesn't seem that after 50, Davey, you're going to be 51 tomorrow. After 50, the pain's a little more prevalent than it was prior to 50. Nonetheless, a lot of this could be coming from the way you walk. And you can walk into or hobble into a good feet store, and you get a free fitting, a free test walk. No obligation. It's a personalized fitting that will show you where your problem might be with your step, with your walk. And it's a 3-step system. You really don't have to do anything. You're basically exercising, and you don't even know. You're just going about your normal day. They're inserts that go into your shoes, strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. And people swear by it. I've used it myself, and it does work. It's quite amazing how it kind of reforms your step. And ultimately, the goal to make the pain go away. You can check it all out. There's now a Good Feet store in New Hartford, 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. For details, call 315-999-3910. All right, some controversy at the Utica Police Department over the mayor's appointment of the new deputy chief. We'll speak with the union. Josh Harrington, UPD union chief, coming up next to WIBX.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
Veterans, you and your family know all too well the many hardships that challenge your mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. The Good News Foundation invites you to a free fellowship group of veterans. This get-together is run by retired Army Chief Warrant Officer 4 Richard Smith, the author of Camouflage Christian. Check out Veterans for Worship the third Wednesday of the month from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Good News Foundation, sharing faith, offering hope, and serving others.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ROAD to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ROAD for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ROAD for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger-pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it's 8:21, and it's going to warm up into the 60s today. And then it'll be like that through the day, breezy with a kind of a warm breeze. On YouTube, who was saying it this morning? So nice, like a summer morning. The warm, the smell, and the sound of the birds. We got one of those camera. I think I got it for my wife for Mother's Day. It's got the camera on it.
The feeder?
The bird feeder? Yeah. Mm-hmm. How in the world do you keep squirrels out of that? You can't. So that's what BB guns are for. I mean, if I had a BB gun, you know.
Is that allowed in the city of Utica? I didn't think that would be our first topic, but
can you
can't shoot off of firearms in the city?
Yeah,
limits, but
is a BB gun considered a firearm?
I don't believe it is.
Nah, I don't think so. You know, I was brought up in the country, and they don't use BB guns in the country. When the squirrels get into the, many bird feeders in the country have extra holes in them from squirrel shot.
From misses, yeah.
I think from misses, kind of, yeah, I guess. All right, in studio right now is Josh Harrington. He is with the Utica Police Department. He is the union chief, and there was recently a promotion to deputy chief by the mayor, and some of the members of the union are somewhat bothered. And welcome to the studio. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
So what is the issue? Because I feel like the email that you put out to members was pretty scathing.
It is. I want to not take anything away from the chief. I'm the union president.
Got it.
I want to think.
Yes. What did I say?
Union chief.
Union chief.
Oh, union chief.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't take anything away from our actual chief.
Union president.
Yes. Thank you. It is, and the members are very nervous about what the recent promotion, and in the police world right now, it's very competitive. We're fighting every other police department to get as many officers as we can, and there's the pool of candidates are limited. We have many officers leaving the police department right at 20 years. They're not staying longer, so our chances of being at full complement are less and less each year. And if you put the wrong leadership at the top, you're diminishing the chances of us getting any lateral transfers to work at our police department.
How close are you at when it comes to the contingency? How many job openings are there?
So we're supposed to be at 165 members. That includes the chief and deputy chief. Right now we are 14 short. We have 14 short, but we have 7 in the academy. So they don't actually count until they graduate and they're out, because at any point they can go. In a lot of cases, they get through the academy. Recently, we've seen it more and more, and they get on the street, and then they're thrown into the reality of police work, and it's a very tough job, and they say, this isn't for me, and they leave. So we get them all the way through the academy, and they're training with an officer, and they have a partner during that 12-week training after the academy. And then they say, on my own, it's a little nerve-wracking, so I'm going to go.
And you feel that this, the appointment of Captain James Holt to deputy chief is a mistake by the mayor?
I believe it's a personal pick from the mayor. They're neighbors. They live right by each other. They've coached baseball together. I don't believe that he had the best interest in the future of the department in mind when he made this.
Have you had a conversation with the mayor?
I've tried to have conversations with the mayor. So in the 2 years that he's been the mayor, I could count on one hand the times I've met with him. We've had violations of our contract multiple times since he's been mayor. We try to resolve that with the chief first if we can. Then it moves up to the mayor. He refuses to meet us on any of those things. So he's very difficult to communicate with. He ignores a lot of things. He ignores my emails, messages, phone calls. It's very few times that I've met with him in 2 years. We are the biggest union in the city. The police department is the biggest union, and he rarely meets with us on anything.
I know Jeff has some questions, but I just want to read from your email. This went out to all members of the PBA. With the recent promotion of Captain James Holt to Deputy Chief, I ask that you do not panic and lateral out of our department. This is an interim position, and Captain Holt will need to pass the civil service exam to be made permanent. Mr. Mayor Galimi has been made aware of the captain's inappropriate, unprofessional, outright childish behavior as captain, and throughout his career, the department is made aware of the sexual comments that have been made to subordinates about the male officers' female companions. I have advised the mayor of the constant complaints, and you're not mincing words.
No, that's exactly what occurs. For the last few years, I've had complaints come into the union. I've told members that they have to make those complaints with City Hall. They won't because they're afraid of retaliation. So we did have one member go to City Hall and file a complaint against the captain for inappropriate comments to him on the radio, or constantly going after him for different things and making comments to them. So City Hall kicked it back to the department. We had a mediation meeting. He apologized. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. And do you accept this apology? And the officer said, I just want him to leave me alone. I just want to do my job.
Yeah.
He's targeting me. So that was the end of it. There was no consequence for his behavior. They just, give an apology and we'll be on our way because you're a captain. And then that was probably close to a year ago. And just a few months ago, he gave that same officer the finger in the parking lot. And I said to that officer, he reported it back to me, and I said, then you need to go to City Hall again. He said, why would I? Because nothing happened the first time.
Right.
And more recently, I had a massive amount of complaints coming in about Deputy Chief Noonan and Captain Holt. So I went to the chief and I said, this is what the members are saying to me. This is what they're bringing forward. It's inappropriate behavior. And it's misconduct in the department. It needs to be taken care of. 2 days later, the deputy chief sees me in the parking lot and makes a direct threat to me. So that's retaliation. So nothing was done at that point. So the officers...
Previous deputy chief or the current
the previous deputy chief. Noonan, yes. So he makes a threat to me in the parking lot. I reported that. I sent an email to the chief. This is what happened in the parking lot. And this is exactly why members don't want to come forward with complaints, because immediately retaliation happened. They threatened it, at least, and then there's no consequence.
Yeah. What did he say? What was the threat?
He said that he would be suing me personally, not the union, not the members. He'd be coming after me personally for the complaints that I turned in.
Interesting.
So there was members in the parking lot that saw that, and as soon as they witnessed that, him coming after me aggressively, walking towards me back and forth, and you can see it. There's cameras. It's all recorded. The sound is not recorded, so you can't see what he says.
Right.
It's my word against his, right?
Yep.
But he was aggressive. The witnesses in the parking lot did see and hear, and but they're not going to go on paper because they don't want to go after him. We live in fear of retaliation, and that comes from the mayor's office, and it's just, so we have order there, right? There's rank and file. You have to listen to the rank and file, and we don't have an issue with that if it's a lawful order.
Yeah.
But if somebody's inappropriate and there's misconduct, they're afraid if they say something other than to the union, and they want me to be the spokesperson for them. But then when I go forward on it, they don't want to go on paper because of their in fear of retaliation.
Okay.
So I had a chance to talk to a handful of members from the department. Obviously, not everybody, but a few. And a lot of the feedback I got on Jim Holt was a lot of good stuff. At least the people that I talked to, that he was a hardworking guy. He's been there for a long time. He's received accolades. He's in charge of. The way it was described to me was pretty much every event that goes on from the city, from Boilermaker to St. Patrick's Day to other type events. And one of the individuals was like, I don't know, what, if he's actually qualified for deputy chief. I don't know what goes into all that, but like, he's definitely a hardworking, good guy who gets along with his other officers. That was just the feedback I got. Do you have any response to that?
In 2012 we had the cuts, so they reduced the number of officers that we had overall. We went from 2 deputy chiefs to 1. We reduced the number of captains. So more recently, in the last year and a half, I think maybe it was, Captain Holt was in charge of patrol, which also did the events. He was unable to do those jobs by himself, so the city created another captain's position to take over patrol, and now he's just in charge of events. So if he's incapable of doing the captain's position, they had to have help and create another captain's job. How is he able to do a higher position with more responsibilities? It makes no sense. And I'm not advocating for one person or another. I'm advocating for not him. There's multiple people that took the civil service test. They only interviewed 2 people. I'm advocating for the best fit for the future of the department. We have to. It's a very competitive world in the police world.
Right.
We need the best leader to make a positive impact. So people are saying, I want to work for the Utica Police Department. This is not going to happen. People have already put their resumes in to go lateral out unless something changes, and we can't afford that. We're already down 14 people. We have retirements coming up. If we're down 30 people, we're not coming to every emergency call.
Yeah. Something else that was brought up by a couple of the members that I spoke with was they were, I don't want to say concerned, I guess disappointed. They felt like by you emailing all the members, they knew somebody was going to give it to the media and that it was going to get around, and that this was basically an initiative brought on by you to kind of shed some light on some dirty laundry maybe in the police department.
My point of the email was to ask the members to hold off on sending their resumes, that we would be fighting for them to have a positive police department, to have a good future for the Utica Police Department. So that's what I was asking them not to panic right yet. That the test results haven't come back. If he doesn't pass the test, he can't be the deputy chief. So hold on, be patient. That was my point of this.
I was told, do you know, is it 7 people who took the civil service exam? That was just a number I was given. It was like 7 people, and something like you have to finish in the top 3, or you have to be among the top 3.
Yes, you have to be in the top 3. But so I don't know exactly how many people took it, but so lieutenants are allowed. You can, once you become a sergeant or lieutenant, you can skip 1 rank and go to the next. So you can't. So I can't go as a patrolman. I can't go to a lieutenant. I have to go to sergeant. So it goes patrolman, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, deputy chief, chief. When you're a lieutenant, you can take the deputy chief's test and skip a captain rank. So lieutenants were allowed to take it. So there's multiple people, and we have great supervisors down there. Great supervisors that are respected, that would be great leaders for the future of our department. And this was literally the only choice that the members are against. And I know you've spoken to a few people. I'm not sure who those people are and in what world they live in, because it's not down there at the Utica Police Department with Captain Jim Holt.
And then one other thing I wanted to ask you about, you said there was another candidate who was considered. Were you advocating for that other candidate? I'm told is it Brian Basner?
It is Brian Basner, but the city only interviewed 2. Brian Basner was already on a civil service test that is good for 4 years, so it's good. Excuse me. It's good until July.
So he's already passed.
He's passed. He's on the test. It's good until July. All of these other people also took the new test, so they have to wait for the results. So they only interviewed Captain Jim Holt and Brian Basner, who was on a test, so they should interview Brian Basner. But how come the interviews weren't done for every other person that took the test? They don't know what the results are going to be. So it's, in my opinion, the mayor already had a choice. He already chose Jim Holt prior to even the test happening. And Jim Holt was going around the station telling people that he's, wait until I become the chief. Wait to see what happens. I'm going to be the next deputy chief. I'm going to be the next chief. He's walking around the station doing that. He causes a ton of divide. He goes from unit to unit, division to division, and he causes division. He talks a ton of garbage about the other ones, and that's not a leader that's uniting the members to want to work there.
I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Banzer, not Basner. I was told you advocated for him. That's not the case, though?
That is not the case. I'm not advocating for anyone. I'm trying to protect the members in the future by not having Jim Holt. If there any other candidate that took that test is perfectly capable of doing the job in a positive manner, in a positive outlook for the department. If any other candidate if they were all interviewed and they picked anyone else, I think all the members would be very happy about those choices.
And then any other reaction as far as the feedback I got that, like, there was some disappointment that this is going to be kind of aired out. I mean, we're talking about it now, that this is going to be kind of aired out publicly as opposed to behind closed doors.
So in the 5 years that I've been the union president, I've never come on the radio. I've never gone to the news about anything. I operate where everything is behind closed doors. And I respect, it's more respected to do that and hash out your differences behind closed doors. The public doesn't need to know that there's controversy at the police department. There's all these problems. This is serious enough where I feel like I need to talk about it publicly because Mike Galimi has chosen someone based on being friends. They've done commercials together. They coach baseball together. They live next to each other. This is all it is a friend promotion, not necessarily the best candidate for the job. That's all it is. And Mike Galimi's going to say, if you have him on, he's going to say...
Which we will, yeah.
Right, of course you will. You have to. Right?
Yes, yep.
I expect that.
Well, we want to be fair and bring everybody in.
Of course, I would expect that. But he's going to say that I don't respect the rank and file. I don't respect the order, the command. That is not the case. I have a job in traffic that I do as a patrolman, and I follow every order that I need to. But as a union president, I don't have a chain of command. So he sent me a message saying, you don't respect the chain of command. That's not the case. I have all the respect in the world for the chief, Mark Williams.
Right.
Him and I work well together. We have a lot of conversations. We don't agree on everything, but we come to a conclusion. And if there's something, he runs the department. If there's something that I don't agree with, and he says, you know what, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to move forward in this direction. I accept that and say, yes, sir.
Does the chief play any role in this selection process?
You would think that he would, and he was in the interviews. Whether the mayor listened to him or not is I don't know. I wasn't in there.
And does the chief know that there are these complaints?
He absolutely does. Yeah. Yes, I made him aware of everything. So when I took over the union, I made sure that I was transparent with everything. If we're asking for demands from the city, whether it be a contract or different things that I'm going to go forward on, if it's grievances for our contract that the city violates, I'm always up front with the chief. Here, you could have it. Take a look at it. What do you think I need to add or take out? Because we have to work together. It's important that we work together to make the department a better place. And we're not going to work well with Jim Holt, I can tell you that now. We haven't in the past. He causes a lot of controversy. I get complaints on a weekly basis for him. He told one of our members more recently that he wanted him and his wife to move in next door so he could watch his wife change. So these are comments that are made by a captain that's unprofessional, sexual comments. It's absurd that he's even a prospect for this position. It has to be that this is over the top and serious enough for me to come in and make it public.
Because it's going to be hard to recover from this. I would think
it won't be once they.
You don't think you feel that with the right person, with the right person in that job, that'll bring the police department together.
Absolutely, the union is there to try to improve the department. We're there to try to make everything as positive as possible, to get good benefits so people want to come and work for the Utica Police Department. That is our goal. Our goal is to work well with the administration, with the mayor's office. They make it very difficult at times, and a lot of times I've bit my tongue and not spoken. But this is serious enough where it has to be known that Mayor Galimi is making people based on a friendship, not who is the most qualified for the position.
What I did hear this from a couple of members as well, that they thought that Captain Holt was qualified. They actually said that I want to get it correctly, Captain Banzer was very qualified as well. They actually thought that they both were. Why do you say he's not qualified? Because of these comments? Or is there some training he's lacking? Or
There's not training, but time management for the events. Now he's only in charge of events at this point, right? Where he was as a captain, because they created 2 captain spots. Yeah. One's in charge of patrol. He's in charge of events. We're getting our assignments 2 minutes before the event happens. He's not prepared. He doesn't do anything in a timely manner. There's disciplines that actually got thrown out because when he was in charge of that, it went past the 18 months. They only have 18 months to dish out the discipline for misconduct for a police officer. So multiple times that's happened. So his time management skills are not good. I don't think he's capable of doing the job. I don't think he has the ability.
And are these comments to be made like the comment about the officer's wife moving next door? So if that was said, I take your word for it, but we don't know for sure. But are the people being targeted for these younger officers who, because I can't imagine that being said to a veteran officer who could handle maybe him or herself a little better with someone like this.
I don't think he has a filter at all. I think he goes around saying it to everyone that he wants.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
This is from Lance and Lee, and he's brought this up a few different times. The dog walking situation. He says, even bigger question: are cops walking dogs? Please ask about the dog walking. What is this? This is dogs taken from homes.
So we've always done the animal control. We've always had animal control officers. Our officers always took animals from the street that were stray to make the community safe from a vicious dog. A dog at large. So the contract ran out with Stephen Swan's Humane Society, Anita's Stephen Swan's Humane Society. I always forget the Anita part.
Yeah.
So the city decided they were going to put create a dog kennel in our fleet maintenance facility. So we fought that. It's beyond we filed a grievance. We did it. Our officers went there. They cleaned the kennels. They cared for the dogs. They did everything they were supposed to. We ran a kennel. Our officers were taken off the street. We were leaving officers on the street by themselves fighting with suspects or offenders while someone was walking a dog and cleaning a kennel. So the union filed a grievance saying that wasn't part of our job. We won that grievance, and our officers are no longer to clean the kennel or run a kennel. So
what about the dog walking dogs?
So we don't walk the dogs. We do nothing. The only ones that do that now are the animal control officers, and I believe they have a volunteer. So we have nothing to do with it at this point. But it's still in our fleet maintenance facility. It smells up the whole thing. The dogs are constantly barking. The fleet maintenance, they're working on our vehicles, and they can't concentrate on what they're doing. They have to leave because they're getting headaches. They leave work early. It's absurd. And suggestions were made to the mayor to create a kennel for the city and have paid people, have it sponsored by, have somebody's name on it, whatever business wanted to sponsor it. And he ignores all of that stuff. And even after we won that grievance, the mayor's office sent something saying nothing has changed. You still have to care for the dogs. Well, that's not the case.
Right,
so I told the members that we won this. Here's the findings. And you could read it for yourself. The findings are that we won that grievance, and you do not have to care for the dogs. We've always captured the dogs. That wasn't ever disputed.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to try to make sure that the city is safe, and if there's vicious dogs at large or loose, then we're going to go capture them. It's still part of our job.
But if you're if you're being required to stay and take care of dogs, and your partner is out on the street making a dangerous call, and it's being done alone as opposed to that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but it was a quick fix for the city, and then it was supposed to be temporary, so we didn't fight it at first saying, okay, we're willing to help. The police department, police officers there to serve the city. We're willing to go out of our way to help, but once it became a permanent thing, then we filed that grievance, and we're no longer caring for them.
Just a couple other comments. You can react to these or not. They created another position because Banzer was away in the FBI Academy, but since it's no longer needed, the position can be cut through attrition. Any comment on that?
The Common Council controls our complement and the positions, so they could vote whatever they would.
So they could get rid of the deputy chief position?
they control. I don't know if they would ever get rid of the deputy chief position, but yes, they control the complement. So in 2012, Rob Palmieri went to them saying, "Hey, we can't afford all these things," and the Common Council voted to control the to cut that. So the Common Council also added with the plea of, I'm sure the chief, he was advocating for another captain, and which is is fine. He felt that he needed that, but the Common Council can create or take away any positions.
Okay. All right.
And then another comment here, there's a reason why hearsay is not admissible in court, and I guess that's a comment about, I guess some of these complaints are verbally expressed, but they never get to the actual formal complaint stage.
That is true because of retaliation. So the officers are afraid of retaliation, so they bring it to me, and then I make them aware of it. I can't force anyone to go on paper. If they're in fear that they're going to be retaliated against, they're going to stay quiet other than telling me about it. At some point, I'm going to need them to be brave enough to come forward and if come out with these complaints.
You've mentioned retaliation a couple times. Do you think you'll be retaliated against?
Well, in the union president position, I'm protected, so I advocate for the members. If they come after me, that's a big no-no on their part. They can't do that. I could voice my opinion. I have no chain of command. I can go to whoever I want and speak my mind. I try to keep everything in-house, like I said. But if they retaliate against me, then there'll be consequences for them. I hope that they wouldn't go down that route. I don't want a battle like that. I'm fighting for the members, and they got to keep that in mind.
Right. So I'll just mention I reached out to is it now Captain or Deputy Chief? At least temporarily Deputy Chief Holt.
He didn't pass the test. I mean, I don't know when he was sworn in, if he signed a book, if that was secretive, if they did it without anyone knowing. I guess if he signed the book, he's the deputy chief. But if he didn't sign...
I talked to Jim Holt yesterday. I just reached out and asked if he wanted to come on. I didn't think it was fair if we were going to talk about him. I thought we should at least give him the opportunity. He declined at this time, said he didn't want to get into a back and forth on the radio. And then I reached out to Mayor Galimi yesterday for a comment as well, and all he would say was, I interviewed 2 candidates for a position, and I took one of the candidates. So he didn't want to elaborate further or get into a back and forth either.
Sure. So he interviewed 2 people, and there's multiple other people that took the test. So he already had one in mind that he wanted to choose. And the other one he had to interview because he was already on the list.
Right.
So interview the other people that took the test and pick the best one you see fit that could do the job.
We will continue with this. I promise you we'll look into this further, and we'll hopefully the mayor will come on. I can tell you that I would expect council members to pipe in on this as well. So
I appreciate
anything
you
else
Thank you.
you want to add?
I think I covered quite a bit.
I would say this is a brave move on your part. This is not,
of course, but I have a
not
job
easy.
to do.
And you feel it's your job.
Yes.
Okay.
This was, we kind of already touched on this, but this was inevitable. This was going to be coming out, right? It gets back to the whole, you have like 160 members, give or take. Somebody was going to leak this, and I guess that was something that was brought up to me more than one time also. But in any event, you want one more comment here?
Sure.
I've been watching your show forever. This is the first time I believe the police union president, I'll call you, is on, and that sure says something about this administration. That is Lance, and I think throwing some criticism at Mayor Galimi. And I've got one more here. I'm sorry, it's loading. Rocky says, very impressed with the union president. The force was very wise to elect him to represent the department.
All right. We appreciate it, Josh Harrington. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Quick break. We'll come right back. And as we said, we'll continue to try to get those involved on the radio to discuss this. So quick break at WIBX.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ROAD to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ROAD for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ROAD for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
In Sarah's Flooring Outlet's inventory reduction sale with savings up to 70% has been extended to the end of the month.
You won't find savings like this anywhere else on the area's largest inventory.
Get brand new flooring for 20%, 30%, up to 70% off during Sarah's inventory reduction sale going on now.
Select in-stock rolls of carpet are 20% off.
Easy to care for in-stock vinyl, 30% off.
In-stock hardwood is 50% off.
Plus, get an unbelievable 70% off carpet remnants.
We have to make room now during Sarah's inventory reduction sale. Some flooring is being sold below cost.
Through the end of the month, get savings up to 70% during Sarah's inventory reduction sale. See why more people buy from the big store.
In Sarah's Flooring Outlet.
In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar, 315-444-4444.
Veterans, you and your family know all too well the many hardships that challenge your mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. The Good News Foundation invites you to a free fellowship group of veterans. This get-together is run by retired Army Chief Warrant Officer 4 Richard Smith, the author of Camouflage Christian. Check out Veterans for Worship the third Wednesday of the month from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Good News Foundation, sharing faith, offering hope, and serving others.
Possibility starts with the right financial solutions from AmeriQ Credit Union. Get started today at ameriq.org/possibility.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, I got to tell you, as we watch temperatures go up today, which they're going to, you're going to see them go down very, very fast, very quickly tonight, as tomorrow will be much, much colder, and snow on the way and all of that, but we're going to get up to about 60 degrees today. Your front door is your first impression at your home, and this time of year, it's also the first thing that takes a beating when you get this upstate New York weather, whether it's the wind or whatever it is we're going to be dealing with today. That's why New York Sash is rolling out the Customer's Choice Door Sale. And here's how it works. Homeowners can take $1,000 off a brand new entry door or choose a free storm door with entry door purchase. It's completely up to you, which is why they're calling it the Customer's Choice Sale. A new entry door instantly upgrades curb appeal, improves energy efficiency, and adds security. And these are not off-the-shelf doors. They're custom-made, professionally installed. These doors are doors that are built to handle whatever gets thrown at them, and that includes the weather we're dealing with right now. If the current door is drafty that you have, faded, sticking, it's a perfect time to make a change before spring really does kick in. Schedule a consultation with New York Sash today. Visit NewYorkSash.com or stop by the showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. A lot of people commenting on this after hearing from Josh Harrington, the union president for UPD. This is not going. This is a. I think it's important for the mayor to step up on this, because this is going to be very disruptive, I would think, in the rank and file of UPD.
Yeah, and I just want to mention, to all the officers, really all law enforcement in our community, I'm extremely grateful for all the work that you guys do, you guys and gals, for sure. And it's a very important job, and I don't know if I could handle a job like that, but I don't know if I could handle it with this additional distraction on top of it as well. Make of it what you will. Lance says, Jeff, ask Bill, please, when was the last time the police union president was on his show? I'm very curious because I don't remember them ever being on.
He was just on.
Well.
Oh, you mean before this?
Yes, Bill.
I do not. We've gone through these types of issues with the union versus the mayor's office when it comes to the fire department. I do remember that the police department got really raked pretty hard when it came to certain benefits. That was maybe 10 years ago. And if you remember, there was a huge exodus after that. I do not remember ever having anything like this or having the union president on. So it's funny you mentioned that, because one of the members I spoke to, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I guess I will, said, what are we, the fire department now? I can't believe this is going out like this. Well, and that's, usually these are fire department issues that we see. And listen, I take. You mean Josh, in general or in the city? In the city. In the city. Yeah. Gotcha. I take Josh Harrington though for his word, and he's saying, I'm getting nowhere, and this is the only move that I have to make. But we will try to get everybody on, and I do think it's important. This is not the mayor's police department. This is the people of the city of Utica, and I think the people deserve to hear from everybody. News is next.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
This is Lynn from Warner Sales and Service. Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf Zero-Turn Mowers. Hustler mowers are designed to be maintenance and service friendly for the everyday homeowner, while not